All right, we've already heard from President Trump. Now, Canada's Prime Minister Justin Trudeau is scheduled to give an update on that Iranian plane crash that claimed 176 lives. 63 were Canadians. Growing suspicions that a lot of this might have been an accidental Iranian shoot down when those missiles were being lobbed at the military base in Iraq. Too soon to say, but this much for a lot of Boeing investors is a bit of a relief rally for that stock on the notion that they have enough headaches that they didn't need this one added. But again, growing questions, exactly what happened a little more than 36 hours ago. To retired Brigadier General Anthony Tata. General, always good to have you. The Iranians are not sharing that black box, certainly with Boeing. They could still give it to a third-party country. Canada comes to mind. What do you think if they never do, though?
Well, I think it's a pretty clear indication, Neil, that this was a shoot down. It's not too hard to visualize how it might have happened. They launched 15 ballistic missiles at the United States bases, joint bases in Iraq, and their air defenses, and they have substantial surface-to-air missile defenses, Russian-made weapons primarily, are on high alert. And all it takes is one untrained operator and one system that perhaps is ready to launch as opposed to on check fire or hold fire, and all of a sudden it picks up an airplane coming in and it launches, and it's a mistake, and it just shows this is insult to injury for Iran, in that they never should have launched those missiles. Now they've shot down and killed their own people and several countries that are friendly to them, and it's just an indicator of how much on the wrong path that this country is, and they need to step back and they need to really do a critical self-assessment of their foreign policy, and they need to stop exporting terror, they need to stop building nuclear weapons, and they need to join the League of Nations and the world economy that where they can actually make a contribution. And I think this could be a good reminder to them, not that the shoot down of an airplane is good, but this could be a reminder to them that they are totally on the wrong path.
You know, it's interesting, General. A lot of folks hope the cooler heads prevailed and then that the worst is over. And I know it can be just rhetoric and playing to the local audience, but virtually all the top Iranian leaders, to Rafsanjani himself, have been talking about it's not over. It's not over. So if they mean what they say, are they talking cyber attacks? Are they talking more targets? What do you envision here?
Well, they have a vast terrorist network. They, the Republican Guard Corps is a terrorist organization. That's why Soleimani was a legitimate target. And so it's, my supposition is that the missile strike was sort of first salvo, and then they're husbanding and their resources and trying to figure out what to do next. What can they do in a shocking and spectacular way? But, at the same time, they said we're done. And unless we attack, and then they'll counterattack. So perhaps there's a diplomatic opening here, and I think that's what the president's remarks yesterday were all about. And so let's see if we can go down that national power element of diplomacy and see if we can't pull a rabbit out of the hat here. That's what I would like to see. But what we don't need, Neil, is Nancy Pelosi, pulling the Obama 6,000-mile screwdriver out of the toolbox and telling us what we can and cannot do in Iran or Iraq or these combat zones to hamstring the president with this resolution that they're talking about prematurely when Iran is talking in a bellicose fashion, only sends a signal to Iran that we are divided over this. And this old saw about the politics stopping at the water's edge. For the Democrats, they are just totally unprepared to contribute to national security discussions because they so hate this president, and they just need to get out of the way on this.
Well, they say Republicans were that way with President Obama when he had the red line in the sand on Syria, and they wanted to test his mettle and have Congress approve it first. So the president did. I guess you're right, it goes back and forth, but away we go, right?
Well, Neil, their definition of imminent threat is Benghazi. They need to see body bags before they will agree that something is an imminent threat. The president stopped an attack. I don't care if it was minutes before, hours before, or days before. He stopped an attack on U.S. citizens and U.S. property, and he had every right to do so.
So, well, I've got you on that, and my producer's going to kill me, but you're always a good guest. Senator Mike Lee has said that the briefing was insulting and demeaning, and they didn't do that. What do you say?
Yeah, well, I didn't see the briefing, but I can understand why it might be sparse in information because there's so many leakers and there's so many people working with Iran where you have, Kerry and former Obama officials. And so if there are Democrats in on that briefing, I can totally understand why we're at such a place in this country, Neil, where we can't trust each other because there are so many leaks. And with social media and technology being what it is, it's 5 minutes before Iran has the information that was in that briefing.
All right, General, thank you very much. I always enjoy our chats, and I always like to remind folks that I appreciate as well your incredible service to this country. I don't care where you are on the political spectrum, but this man sacrificed a lot, did a lot for this country.
Very moderate.
All right, you say that. All right, in the meantime.